Well,
Or how
I did help him.
however that.
But not in the last race when I should have again. But what happened there is like I show up in 2012 mid-season, one day testing on a bike, everything new, 18 years old. You're not scared, but you go on. I go on track at Donington with an FP1. The first thing I see is like the 4 or 5 stars behind the letter of Max Biaggi, and I'm like, okay, I know deep inside me that I belong there, but I'm like, oh, what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
So, but Thomas never in those years, never been helping me. I don't, you're not here to help your teammate, but I mean, when you have a kid coming, like when I have a young teammate, like, you just come behind me. The only guy that did that was Biaggi. And it was Aprilia that was the opponent of Tom. And it was just taking me behind him every FP1 to like go behind him three laps. And then it went worse and worse with Tom. 2012, obviously, I win a race, but I was way slower than him. Then 13, I build up all the season, and I start to be really fast in the mid-year, but I broke my back in the moment where I was getting like as quick as him. And then I come back in the winter, so I didn't do the end of the season. I come back in the winter, and he's world champion that year. And yeah, I start to hear something, like he went in Japan and asked a wall in the box. He has to not share the data. He wants to see my data, but I cannot see his data. And then, yeah, sometime I was going in 13 behind him in Super Pole, and if I was coming in the pit with the qualifying tire, so I don't have his wheel, punching his tongue, I was like, okay, that's weird, guy. And then when I broke my vertebra, he didn't, never called me, never asked how I was. I was in the hospital with a neck brace. And at the first time they told me I had 4 broken vertebrae, so I was a bit scared, and then I only one. But so yeah, it was not the guy I was close to. I was young, and then at the end of 14, I was fighting for the title until mid-season, and some things happened. And yeah, it was only him. In Manico, they asked me to let him go if I was in a position, so I let him go through for P4. Don't even thanks me, don't do anything. And then yeah, I don't know, like I definitely, the main thing is the team manager didn't do it in the right way in the last race. That's something like that for sure I would do different if I'm a team manager. First, the money-wise, but also like talking, like just sitting around the table on Thursday, like, okay, that's the plan. And they just came like 5 minutes before the race, had the helmet sound, like almost helmet sound on the box, like, what are you going to do? And I was P2 on the ground, like, I'm going to win the race. Okay, if you cannot win, I'm like, we will see, I win the race. You don't want to hear that you're not going to win before the race. On Thursday, you are able to, your brain is able to go through everything. And I don't know, like, I didn't feel like going. Then also Johnny was behind. I didn't want to lose that podium. I know it was my last weekend in Superbike before going GP, and there was a lot of things for your head at 300k, and just didn't feel like doing it. And it was race 1, and I knew that by the points that I could still help him in race 2, but then all the drama happened. Yeah, it's I don't know. Like now being 30, 31, if I have to do it now with experience, yeah, I will do the things different. But again, back being 20. No manager at that time. Yeah, just when I signed with my manager in that moment, that's what I also say. I wish I would have him 3 years earlier. Yeah, all the things. I think if I'm 21 again now, I am who I am now because I had this character and this mindset since I'm 10. So I think if I would have acted different in that moment, would have mean I was a different guy, and I'm sure that different guy would not make it through. So